Sometimes I'd just look at a vintage photo of Great Lakes maritime history and say to myself, what are they doing to that boat? Such was the case with this photo of a boat in dry dock. Take a good look. Notice the wood scaffolding along her plank shear. Some sort of major work is going on. But why? Did she ground? Or have a collision? Or perhaps a fire? Maybe they're deepening her. Here's how we research and get the answers to questions like that. First, which boat is it? Zooming in on the image, we can read her name, Charles B. Hill. And below that, it looks like the Lackawanna something line. Now we need more facts. The first place I look is the Great Lakes Maritime Collection at the Fletcher Library in Alpena. Here's their website address. Searching is easy. Just put in the name Charles Hill, click search, boom, here we are. Notice that she was originally named Delaware. Here's her picture under that name, and she later became the Hill. Next, click on Delaware, and we get to her information. Renamed Charles J. Hill. Built in 1878. Official number 6961. Scrolling down, we find some important clues. She had 3 sister ships, the Juanita, the Conestoga, and the Conemaugh. Also provided here are a series of historic photos of her. This one is of special interest. Here we see that photo enlarged. It looks very much like the same boat, only from the opposite end. We need to dig farther into this. No one does this sort of research in a vacuum. So I'm going to enlist a fellow historian's help. His name is Steve, and he runs the Vintage Freighters and Passenger Boats of the Great Lakes Facebook site. He has spent a great deal of time digging in the Library of Congress photo archives, as well as other archives. From his collection, we get some higher resolution images. This is where many answers can be found. Indeed, this is the Charles Hill. Here we see the scaffolding. Here we see that this dry dock is indeed the Great Lakes Engineering Works. In the wider image is this important clue. It's the bow of the Hill's sister ship, Conestoga. Lucky for us, the photographer who took these photos took many more around the yard that same day. This will help us figure out the when of this puzzle, and that is almost halfway to finding the what. Among those photos is this image. Looking closer, we can see the hill off the bow of the Conestoga. We can clearly see the Conestoga's name on her stern, and here on her beam. Here's a closer look at the hill. Notice that the same work scaffold is also on her port side. So whatever is being done, it's being done on both sides. We can get close to setting the date by simply looking around the shipyard. In the background, we see this new lake boat getting ready to be launched. Looking at the other images from that same day, we see that the new boat is the William P. Snyder, which would be launched on Saturday, February 17, 1906. Thus, these images must have been taken during the winter of 1905-1906, and not 1907, as the website showed. Yes, we have contacted them, and they're going to fix it. In fact, the Hill sank on November 22nd, 1906. Just because some of you may be wondering, this boat under construction is the James Laughlin. She would be launched on Saturday, April 7th, 1906, and christened by little Alice D. Laughlin, the great-granddaughter of the boat's namesake. Oh, and what was it that the shipyard workers were doing to the Hill? This article about her sister ship, the Conestoga, tells us that. Her old wooden hogging arches had been removed, and we see them being replaced with steel arches, which were stronger and much lower. Here's the Conestoga with her lower arches. This was not a common process, but gave some old wooden boats a few extra years of service. Unfortunately, Charles J. Hill was not around long enough to enjoy any of that.